morning students. Welcome back to computer science class. Today here we are going to discuss about an algorithm. What is an algorithm? What is the use of the algorithm? What are the characteristics of algorithm? And what types of algorithms we have? That we will discuss today. Actually, what is an algorithm? Actually, algorithm is a step-by-step process. What is an algorithm? Algorithm is a step-by-step process to solve a specific problem. Okay, what it is? It is a step-by-step process to solve a specific problem. It is a procedure which contains some sequence of actions to get a required result. Simply you can say that it is a step-by-step process to solve a specific problem. Understood? It is a step-by-step process to solve a specific problem. Now, here, actually what is the use of the algorithm? Here I will give you one example. What is an algorithm actually? I want to calculate sum of two numbers. So what is the problem here? I need to calculate sum of two numbers. So when you are giving this task to the system, when you are writing a program for a sum of two numbers, before writing a program, you need to write the step-by-step process. What is the first step? What is the second step? Means what system has to perform. What instructions you want to give to the system. That instructions you can give step by step. See example. For sum of two numbers, what is the actually example here? The example is equals to a plus b. So here how many values we need? A value, b value, and that will be added. Then whatever result is there, that is stored in C. So for this, if you want you need to find out the solution. What is the solution here? Sum of two numbers. So in order to get the required result, you need to give the procedure to the system. How to give a procedure is declare. Example a comma b comma c. So if you want to use any variable in the program, first you should declare that variable. Next, after declaring, you need to read that. Read or input, you can say that. It is input. Input a comma b. Means the user has to give values for a comma b. After storing values in a and b, what is the next one? You need to calculate. Sum equals to c equals to a plus b. After that, you need to print, or it is called as an output. Output C. This is a simple procedure. Not only in a programming languages. If you want to perform any actions, there should be a sequence. There should be a procedure. That procedure is called as an algorithm in a programming. Clear? So here I am writing a program to calculate sum of two numbers. What is the procedure here? Declare a comma b comma c. Because in order to calculate sum of two numbers, how many variables we need? 3. First you should declare that one. Next, after declaring the variable, what is the next step? You need to take the values for a and b from user. That is the second. After storing the value, c equals to a plus b, you need to calculate. Example, here I have not given a value. If you want to calculate c equals to a plus b, it is possible? It is not possible. So, it is a sequence. First one, second one, third and fourth. First, you should declare the variable. Next, you should take values of variable from a user. Next, you calculate c equals to a plus b. At last, you print a c. Understood? Step by sequence of actions. What sequence of actions are needed to get a required result? That is called as an algorithm. So, when you write this point in the exam, how will you write? It is a step-by-step process to solve a problem or to get a required result. It is a procedure that performs some sequence of actions, underline sequence of actions to get a required result. Understood? What is an algorithm? It is a step-by-step process to solve a specific problem. Clear? Now, here, this is an example. Come to characteristics. What characteristics the algorithm should have? Now, here the characteristics of an algorithm. What characteristics it should have? Precise means whatever steps you are explaining an algorithm, that should be unambiguous. Means there should not be any doubt. See in the previous example what I have given. Declare a comma b comma c. Next input A comma B. Next, calculate sum. C equals to A plus B. Next, output C. This is a simple. Here there is no doubt. Example, if I didn't write this step, then what happened? Input A comma B you will get. Input A comma B. Then actually where you have declared, example declare is there, but I missed this step. If I directly file give sum C equals to A plus B, then from where you will get A comma B, means there is a doubt, a little bit doubt. Where is A value and B value, directly how we are calculating, that type of confusion will get. So whenever writing an algorithm, the steps should be designed precisely, means unambiguous. There should not be any doubt, there should not be any confusion. So whenever you are writing an algorithm, what is the basic characteristic of an algorithm? Whatever steps you are writing, that should be very clear, and that should have a sequence of steps. There should not be any doubt. Okay, everything should be clear. That is the first characteristic. Now come to the uniqueness. See, each and every step here. Next, input. Each and every step should give unique output. Here, what output you will get? A comma B. The declaration is over. Next, whatever steps are there that are dependent on the previous output. See, this step is dependent on the previous output. Declared. Whatever variables you have declared, in that only you are storing a value. Okay. So, from this step, what output you got? That variables are declared, means some memory is given to that variable. Next, after that, in the second step, we are storing a value. Means one step is completely dependent on the current step is dependent on the previous step. And each and every step should give some output. That should be independent. And the next one, finiteness, means each and every algorithm. Example, if you have written 4 steps. In the programming, there should be 4 lines of code. Every algorithm should close after a finite set of steps. Limited number, exactly. Okay, here I can't add one more step. Understood? After finite set of steps, the algorithm should be closed. That is the next characteristic. The next one is the input. And in each and every algorithm, there should be some input and some output. That are the characteristics. Okay. So here, whatever steps are there, that should be clear to the user. And each and every step independently dependent on the previous step. Okay, not for the next step. It should dependent on the previous output, previous step output. Clear? And each and every algorithm should have only few number of steps. There is a finite set of steps. And each and every algorithm should have some input values and some output value, because we are giving a solution using an algorithm. So when you are giving a solution, there should be an output. If an output is there, means 100% you will get an input, because without input we won't get the output. Understood? These are the characteristics of algorithm. What is an algorithm? It is a step-by-step process to solve a specific problem. Okay, what are the characteristics? Precise. Next, uniqueness, finite set of numbers, input and output. If you want to add more steps, you can add. Clear? And there should be a sequence of steps. That point also you can. That is also one of the characteristics of an algorithm. Clear? This is very, very important, because from this algorithm you will get one question in exam. Here we have 3 different ways to represent an algorithm. From that 3 different ways, 100% you will get one method of writing an algorithm in the exam. Clear? Now we will discuss different ways to represent an algorithm. So here, algorithm, it is a step-by-step procedure. That step-by-step procedure can be explained, represented in different ways. Okay, means pictorially you can give, using the statements you can give. So based on the method you are using, here an algorithm can be represented in 3 ways. The first one is All of you write down this step form. The second one is a PSEU, pseudocode. Third one is a flowchart. 3, you write step form, pseudocode, flowchart. Over. Now we'll discuss about the step form. Now the first form of representing an algorithm is step form. In the step form, in the name itself we have step form. Step by step procedure we are giving to solve a specific problem. Actually algorithm itself is a step by step procedure only. But you in a step form, how we are giving? Here also we are giving solution in a step by step form only. And here whatever statements are there, whatever solution is there, that is given by using a written statements, not using a programming languages. Whatever statement, whatever solution is there, that solution will give using a statements, simple statements. And in order to give that statement, we'll use natural languages like English language we'll use to give a statements. And whatever steps are there, each and every step is a part of problem solving. Means each and every step is used to solve a part of the problem. And when you combine all the steps, when you come to the last step, you will get a solution to that problem. Only thing is, here whatever solution is there, that solution will give in the form of written statements. Each and every statement is a part of problem solving. When you come to end last statement, you will get a solution to the problem. And next, it uses natural language like an English language will use. Clear? And each and every step is a part of a logical solution to the program. Okay, only the thing is here it is also step by step process, but whatever process is there, whatever step is there, that step we are giving in the form of statements, of written statements, not a programming language or not any special symbols. And here each and every statement is a part of a problem solving. Now here we will discuss one problem using we'll write a step form algorithm to solve a specific problem. Here example, I want to write a program to check whether the given number is an even number or odd number. So in order to check whether the given number is an even or odd, what is actually, how will you find out whether the given number is an even number or odd number? Example, I have given 4. 4 is an even number or odd number? Example, it is an even number. How will you say that it is an even number? If the number is divisible by 2 and you are getting a remainder 0, then that number is an even number. Example like this. 4, 2 to the 4, remainder is 0. If remainder equals to 0, then that is a even number. You know that if the number is divisible by 2 and the remainder is 0, then it is even. But system doesn't know. You need to give the instructions. Right? So here using the step form will give the instructions. I'll write the steps. So here step 1, start. You need to start the algorithm. Simple language, in English we are using. Next step 2, declare variable. Declare the variable. Your example 4 is a number, so n equals to 4, r equals to remainder. So whatever remainder you will get from that division, that will be stored in a r. So I am taking 2 variables. Okay, so declare n r. Right? This is for the number and this is for the remainder. Now what is the step 3? You need to give the value for the number. So input or read, you can write read n, or take input you can give. In a natural language you can give the value, the solution, read n. After that you need to calculate the reminder. So calculate reminder and store result in R, because we are taking one variable to store the result, because you need to store the result. If the reminder value is stored, then only you can say that it is the odd number or it is an even number. So after finding the reminder, what is the next one? You need to check whether the reminder is 0 or not. Next one, step 5. If you need to check true or false. If R equals to 0, reminder equals to 0, then print even. Else print odd. It's a simple language, it's English. This is a step form. We are using step by step. We are writing that statements, whatever statements are there in a natural language. Here, it is similar to your English. But here complete procedure is there. Starting to and last you need to give step 6 end. Starting to ending. Okay. I think it is not visible to you. Now you can see. First step, start. The second one, declare. Whatever variable you are using in the program, that you should declare. Next, whatever input you want to take, that you take. Next, you calculate the reminder. After calculating the reminder, what you have to do? You need to check whether the reminder is 0 or not. If the reminder is 0, then that number is an even number. If the reminder is not 0, that is the odd number. That only I have given. Once you check. Next, after checking whether the reminder is 0 or not, I am ending. Understood? So this is step form algorithm. This is also one of the form. It is also one type of algorithm. But here, how we are presenting the steps using a written statements. Okay. Now you write down this. In the exam, if they will give you like this, explain a step form algorithm. You need to write what is a step form algorithm, and you need to explain the procedure. And sometimes they will ask you not only even number, write algorithm to check which is the biggest number or sum of two numbers. Sometimes they will give you the problem and they ask you to give the solution using a step form. Okay, just you need to remember one point. Whatever procedure is there, that procedure you need to give step by step. That whatever steps you are writing, that should not shuffle, that should not overlap. Clear? Sequential steps should be there. Right? You take screenshot of this. Now, come to the next one, pseudocode. The next one is a pseudocode that we'll discuss now. Now, here we'll discuss about the next form of algorithm. What is the next form of algorithm is here? Pseudocode, actually pseudocode it is, pseudocode algorithm. Here, similar to your step form only. Okay, this type of presentation of algorithm is similar to step form only. The difference is in the step form we used natural language. Here we'll use the vocabulary which is similar to English only, but only few phrases we'll use. Not all the read, the such type of words we want to use in a pseudo classes. Okay, so it is similar to step form. Only what difference you have? We won't use whatever words we used in the step form. Just we'll use the restricted vocabulary. Okay, instead of print, we'll use the output, initialize. Instead of the read, we'll use the initialize. Such type of words only we'll use. Restricted vocabulary only we'll use. Okay, so here also I'll give you the simple example. See, you can write down these 2 points. Vocabulary which is similar to English. It is similar to English but not exactly. And next, here we use a short phrases like output, input, initialize, declare. Only few, some 15 to 20 words only we use here to write an algorithm. But in case of step form, whatever words you want to use, you can use. As already said, in the step form we used a natural language. Natural language means the natural language. However you are going means however you want to present the steps, you can present. But here, in order to present the steps, we need to use the restricted vocabulary. Only few words you are supposed to use, not all the words. That is the difference. And if you know the procedure, how to write, it is easy to write by using the pseudo classes. Okay. So here one more example I will give using a pseudo code. Now here same example, whatever I have explained using a step form, here I have explained with the pseudo classes. See here, declare number 1, number 2. This number 1 and number 2 are called as variables. So whatever variables you want to use in the program, you should declare that variable. But what phrase we are using is a declare. It's a word of, means it's a particular word which is used in a algorithm only. Next, output. What output means? What prompt you are giving to a user. Whatever displaying on the screen, that is the output. Whatever the user is giving, that is the input. So what output we are giving to the user? Enter the number 1. Enter the value of the first number. Okay, the user will give the value. When the user gives the value, that will be stored in a number 1. Because here present we declared there is no value. Initially there is no value. In the second step, what we are doing? The user is giving the value. So when the user giving the value, that value is stored in a number 1. Okay, user value stored in a number 1. Whatever left side operand is there, that the right side value will be stored. Next, after that, you need to calculate the better. I will write the same thing. Whatever variables I have used. Set, declare. The previous example what I have given, n comma r. So here set n equals to user value. Next, set reminder. Reminder equals to number. What is the variable here? N. Okay. Now you can see. Declare n. 2 variables I have declared. Next, only these words whatever you use, that will change. That's it. The remaining process is same. So n comma r. 2 variables. Next, initially the value of this is 0. Here you can give initial value equals to 0. Because I want to take value from a user. If you will give initial value, that value will be fixed. I don't want to fix the value every time I want to change the value. So initially I am not assigning any value to that particular variable. Okay. So declare n comma r. Now the next one is output. Means I am giving a prompt to the user that enter a value for a number. So enter the n value. So the user will give the value. So when the user gives the value, that value will be stored in a n. Now example, I will get prompt like this. Enter a value or enter n value. Then I will give the value like 10. That 10 will be stored in n. Now what is the n value? 10. Next, if the n value is ready, you need to calculate the remainder of that number. So r equals to remainder. R equals to n module. This is an operator which is used to calculate the remainder. So n module 2. So after calculating, that value will be stored in a. After calculating, the remainder value is stored in a r. Now you need to check r equals to 0 or 1. So if r equals to 0, then output is even. If r equals to 1, then output is odd. Here it is a true, false. True, here it is true means here it is a false. Okay, true if r equals to 0 means what it will print even. If r equals to 1, it will print odd. Okay, only the thing is you need to give the step-by-step procedure. In step form also we are giving. In pseudo class also we are giving. But here we are using only particular vocabulary to write the steps. But in case of step form, you can give steps in your own words. Means in your own language you can give. But the thing is, procedure is also there to solve a specific problem. Here also procedure is there, but we are giving a procedure in a some phrases only, a particular vocabulary only we are giving. That's it. That is the difference between pseudo classes and the step form. The next one is a flow chart that we'll discuss in the next class.